Seattle School Board. The Seattle School Board adopts the policies that govern Seattle Public Schools. The board provides direction for the educational program. The 7 directors represent different areas of the city. Directors are nonpartisan and serve 4-year terms. Just 3 of the 7 district seats are on the primary ballot this year: District 2, District 4, and District 5. In the primary, only those who live in the school board district that was on the ballot are eligible to vote for candidates in that district. The top 2 vote getters in each of those districts advance to the general election. At the general election, all voters in Seattle will have the opportunity to vote for one candidate from each district.
Public education transformed my life. I started as an English as a second language student with a hearing disability. Thanks to dedicated teachers, I'm the first woman in my family to earn a college degree. As a current Seattle Public Schools parent, finance professional, and former school board director, I'm stepping up to serve at a time when the district faces major decisions about a new superintendent, a $100 million budget deficit, and its future direction. I'll bring experienced leadership, budgeting, and finance expertise, and deep roots in school communities to navigate challenges with accountability and a needed focus on student outcomes. I'm ready to work for you and our 49,000 students from day one. Here's what I'll do. Bring clarity and oversight to our budget, making sure our public money is spent equitably and effectively for our 49,000 students. Safeguard schools from cuts and arbitrary closure plans, and put the district on a plan to long-term financial stability. Set a vision for a diverse portfolio of programs in schools to meet all students' needs, particularly in special education and also advanced learning, career pathways, ethnic studies, and language immersion. Prioritize student well-being and safety by investing in mental health, gun violence prevention, and safety at schools. Stand up to Trump's attacks on our schools, LGBTQ+ students, and families like mine who came to this country to seek education and opportunity. A successful school district is a whole community effort, and I'm proud to be endorsed by the King County Democrats, Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson, Mayor Bruce Harrell, City Council Member Joy Hollingsworth, County Council Member Teresa Mosqueda, current and former school board presidents and directors, students, parents, educators, and community leaders. I would be honored to earn your support and vote.
Hi, my name is Alicia Weil, parent of 2 amazing kids raised in public schools, seasoned school volunteer, former PTO president and vice president, proud disruptor of systemic oppressive systems, and your candidate for school board director for District 5. Having worked with families and staff to bring equity to schools, I have seen and felt the impact of harmful district policy. The inconsistency in policy not aligning in budget decisions and the overall toxic environment during engagement meetings, pitting families against each other to fight for resources. It's disgusting. As an advocate in equity, I'm experienced in having difficult conversations and breaking down complex issues. I come with a curious nature to understand and find resolution with minimal impact to the most vulnerable communities. My neighborhood is the Central District. I shop local, support local, and advocate local. My experience informs my practice, and my work is grounded in community. I see this job as simple, not easy, but simple. Find and evaluate a superintendent, rebuild trust with families and school communities, and empower the youth so that they can chart a path to success as they define it. This is your district and mine. It needs to feel like that. We need to fulfill our promise to end the school-to-prison pipeline by expanding our investments in community organizations. In the Central District and in the Black community, we know that we keep us safe. We need not only radical transparency for families, but giving them a voice in what is cut or what is expanded. These are just a few concepts I hope to bring to fruition as your school board director for District 5. I need your vote to help bring radical change that is much needed in this city, so we can shift away from trends of privatization. Our public schools belong to families it serves, and it's time to change this unbalanced power dynamic. Thank you.
Hello, community. My name is Julissa Sanchez, a first-generation Mexican-American Chicana, daughter of immigrants and a former ESL student of Seattle Public Schools, and a youth and housing justice advocate. I am the mother of a current student at Garfield High School. As a director of advocacy at Choose 180, I work directly with young people who are impacted by the school-to-prison pipeline and the criminal justice system by creating systemic change in a world where they can thrive. This past legislative session, I supported young advocates in using their stories to pass a bill expanding court-based diversion and advocating for gun violence safety laws. I'm running for school board because our kids deserve more than Band-Aid solutions. They deserve leaders who reflect their lived experiences and who will fight for schools that are inclusive, culturally responsive, and truly equitable. As school board director, I ensure that the voices and lived experiences of Black, Brown, immigrant, and ELL refugee students and students with disabilities, regardless of zip code, are not just heard, but centered in the policies and budgets that shape Seattle Public Schools. As the district navigates a time of leadership transition, we need strong community-rooted voices at the table. I believe every student deserves a high-quality education that prepares them for success in college, career, and life. With your vote, we will create a district where every child is valued for who they are, with schools that affirm their culture, language, identity, and neurodiversity. A district where educators are equipped with the training, resources, and support that they need to teach equitably and effectively. Where families and communities are not just invited, but empowered to engage as partners in our children's education. In all languages, I'm ready to lead and I'm ready to serve. Thank you for your vote.
I'm Janice White, and I'd be honored to earn your vote. I believe schools must be places where every child is empowered to succeed. That's why I'm running for Seattle School Board in District 5 to challenge the status quo, hold leadership accountable, and bring people together to find solutions. We are facing a budget crisis. Unfortunately, the district previously proposed closing 21 schools, including Tops K-8, where my children went to school and where I served as president of the site council. As our school board director, I will fight for transparent budgeting with a focus on early, meaningful, and frequent engagement with impacted communities so we can avoid devastating impacts. The closure of high achievement programs is leading to declining enrollment that exacerbates our budget issues. I will work to bring back these programs and keep as many kids as possible in our public school system. According to research by the Children's Alliance, 1 in 5 kids in our K-12 schools are struggling with anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. Delivering more mental health counselors, increasing access to group therapy, and addressing the use of cell phones in schools is a top priority. As a parent of students with disabilities, I have seen firsthand how Seattle Public Schools has often failed to meet the needs of all students, regardless of their background or abilities. Teachers, staff, and administrators want to do the right thing, but they need stronger guidance and support. I will bring experience supporting kids with disabilities that is sorely needed on the school board. Whether it was as board president of the Seattle Special Education PTSA or founding a nonprofit organization to increase inclusion and belonging for disabled youth, I have been fighting for Seattle's students and families for more than 2 decades. Together, we can support all students to achieve success.